Hello, fellow wacky teacherpreneur. We're back and we're really happy to be back. Today, we are still on the marketing train. We're doing a series of episodes all about marketing your teacher business. And we can't not talk about SEO when we talk about marketing. And maybe you're wondering, well, what is SEO? Maybe you already have some familiarity with SEO. And then also, like, what the heck does it have to do with marketing? So let me just tell you, SEO is search engine optimization. And basically what that means is making sure your website, your blog, your Teachers Pay Teachers store front is optimized to rank, to be found on the World Wide Web. And the way that you do that is by paying attention to keywords and doing your research on keywords. And I have to say personally that when I first started my blog, when I first started my Teachers Pay Teachers store, I just called things what they were, which is smart, but I didn't really pay much attention to keywords or researching how can I rank for this keyword and who ranks for this keyword or this phrase. And it's not just words, it's, long tail keywords are long, like a big phrase. And so just that's what this episode's all about, search engine optimization. And the reason it has to do with marketing is because this is free marketing. This is free advertising. When you pay attention to the keywords you're using and you're purposely, intentionally trying to rank for certain keywords, when someone goes and searches whatever those keywords are, those phrases are, they find you. And so it's free marketing. So let's go ahead. We're going to get into this. We're going to talk about Teachers Pay Teachers specifically. Jess is going to talk about that. And then I'm going to talk about blogging and just how to rank for certain keywords in both those areas. So let's get started.
All right, TPT SEO. I know that I've been to 4 or 5 Teachers Pay Teachers conferences, and I've been in the Teachers Pay Teachers community for, gosh, it's been 9 years now. And the number one complaint people usually have as a TPT seller is my products aren't selling. Why aren't my products selling? Or how can I make more money? That's what everybody wants to know. And everywhere you go or whoever you ask, there's 2 things they always tell you to make more money. You got to change your cover because your cover is probably bad, and it's the packaging. Like, you don't go to Target and buy something in an ugly box. You just don't. The cuter the box, the more likely you are to buy it, regardless of what's inside the box, right? So your cover is like your box. And then the second thing people will tell you is that your title is probably using the wrong keywords. Your title is what is popping up when people are searching in the TPT. I almost call it TPO. Temporary protection order. It's like a restraining order. Anyway, on your Teachers Pay Teachers, search bar, you might have a goofy title. And I was sort of poking fun at someone in the Teachers Pay Teachers community. They have a bold personality. They're not big on social media. They don't even believe in social media, but they've been a Teachers Pay Teachers seller for like over 10 years. And they can be quite strong in different Facebook groups. And this person, they have really silly titles, and they won't change them. They've had their titles for like 10 years, and they're always complaining about their sales, but some of their titles are just ridiculous. Like,
Wait,
one
are
of
you
them,
sure? Wait, are you sure you want to?
I think it's safe. I don't think this person's ever going to listen, right?
Okay, we're telling all.
We are telling all. So I wasn't going to say the exact title, so
Okay.
I don't want people like look it up and start harassing the person.
Yeah.
But like, this is an example of one of the titles, right? It would be like, how to write a paragraph you are a teacher dummy and not doing it right. It's like, what? Like, what? You're calling people dummies. Nobody's searching dummies, right? Nobody is searching dummies on Teachers Pay Teachers. You're putting in a bunch of words that don't make any sense. So sometimes people think they're coming up with something sarcastic and witty and clever, but is that what a teacher is going to search in the Teachers Pay Teachers search bar? No, they're searching really specific topics. And one way you can learn what topics they're searching is when you go up to the Teachers Pay Teachers search bar yourself, you could type in a topic that has to do with your, like, whatever standard you're covering, right? Like maybe you're doing a product on creative writing. So if you type creative writing in the TPT search engine, you'll get a generated list of, other terms that users are searching. It could be, creative writing 5th grade, creative writing workshop, creative writing notebook, creative writing prompts. You'll get like a whole bunch of words. These are the things people are searching for. This is what you should name your product. That is the TPT SEO. Like that's how it has to do with TPT, is it's all about your title. And what I've heard also is that you can go to Pinterest and type in your TPT product, what topic it covers and what exactly it is, and it'll give you that self-generated list. You can go to Google, it gives you a self-generated list. Look for the search engines that give you a self-generated list. And I also recommend, this is sort of one of my hot little secret tips, go to Facebook groups and type in your product idea, and then you'll start to see like Facebook groups. If you see like a Facebook group with your product in there with 10,000 people in the Facebook group, one, maybe you should join that group, and two, you might get ideas on how you could switch the wording around a little bit based on what those popular Facebook groups are. So use the free tools to your benefit when naming your Teachers Pay Teachers product. And also another tip is to use the full, well, this tip goes on and off. Some people say not to use all the characters they give you. I feel like more characters, the better, but some people use really short little titles. But unless you have a lot of sales, the short titles sometimes they don't help you, I don't think, because you're competing against so many other people to try to get it in the search. Anyway, the other thing I had to say is that the first 3 lines of your product description, that's called your snippet. And Shelly Reese is a TPT guru. She has a bunch of courses and Facebook groups for Teachers Pay Teacher sellers. And she talks a lot about these first 3 lines of your product being so important to the SEO on Teachers Pay Teachers, because they're searching, your title is the first thing that will come up in a search, but then those first 3 lines of description are super important for the search as well. So you need to have a good description. And I used to have the worst ones. And I think I changed them all, but I used to have, like, for all my bundles, I would say, would you like to save 70%? Then click here. Well, that's not nobody's typing in, would you like to save 70% to find New Hampshire state report, right? And I had that on all my 50 states products. I had, would you like to save 70% or would you like to save 90%? I would change the percentages based on the bundle discount, right? And that should not be in the first 3 lines of my product description. So those are the things. And I was thinking, we were actually talking about this over the summer when we were building some of our products. We were talking about, I know you had a product and you had changed a word in the product, right? Like it was like writing or writers, or was it was something, I know it was something to do with writing workshop, and you would just change this one word and then you showed up higher in the search. Do you remember that word or what we were talking about back then?
No.
Well,
Wait,
I remember it was something to do with writing, and you were playing around with whether you should use writer or writing, or you should use a noun or like a verb. And then you sort of discovered that you would show up higher. You would change one word in your title, you check it a few days later, and you would show up higher in the search on Teachers Pay Teachers than if you were using the other word. And it was some sort of teeny tiny difference between like writing or writer, something like that, something to do with writing.
I think I remember because I just Googled um, informational mini lessons. And I think I was calling it information mini lessons or information and or informative writing mini lessons. And actually, when I Googled that, the first hit of 3 million results is a link to Teachers Pay Teachers. If you Google informational mini lessons, and I'm super excited to click this link right now to find out what products are on because so Teachers Pay Teachers ranks on Google too, and we're going to talk more about that. But let me just click this real quick, and I do have some questions for you, Jess. Oh, great. Of course, it's an elementary product.
This is the biggest complaint of Teachers Pay Teachers sellers that are in secondary, is that Teachers Pay Teachers is flooded with elementary products, and elementary products tend to get higher in the rank, and the sellers make a lot more money, and secondary Teachers Pay Teachers sellers get sort of flustered and upset because they put in a lot of, I would say, hours in making their products, making them really beefy, because the standards are more complex as you move up in the grades, and they require more reading out of the kids and more work, and you just have to create more as a secondary seller. And so I was just sort of sharing this little, it's like this invisible feud you'd never know if you weren't in the Teachers Pay Teachers world, but
Well,
it is kind of funny.
I've had I've had people shift my mindset around that. Like, there's so many elementary sellers and not as many secondary sellers, but that's actually a good thing for the secondary sellers. But okay, listen, I just searched. So I changed my word from information writing to informative writing. And I did this a few months ago, and I wasn't ranking on Teachers Pay Teachers. I clicked that link that I Googled. So it's an elementary bundle. And then it's another product. Guess who ranks third now?
You're third now?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's wonderful.
Yeah. And this is I using your data playbook. I found out that this product is really, really important. It's like responsible for like 90% of my sales, and it was tanking. And so I really took a lot of time this summer to change the cover, to change the thumbnails, to make sure that the preview was just stellar. And I changed the keywords. So this is what the product's called: informative writing mini lessons. And then I used a little, there's a debate about this, the vertical
The
line.
line.
You could
Yeah.
use a comma. I've heard the vertical lines don't rank on Google, I guess. I don't know, but apparently this is ranking. So vertical line, informative writing unit, vertical line, info writing unit. So I've called it 3 different things, and I've used all of the characters that TPT allows. Um, and so, yeah, but I did have a question for you. So I just created a new product, and I used that tip that you just, before I titled the product, which I feel like that's like, if you're going to not take anything away from this, before you title a product, go search keywords using the search engine on Teachers Pay Teachers, like you said. And so I did that. I just created this new product, and the product is called How to Find a Good Book. And it's a mini lesson to teach students. You might want this, by the way, as a librarian. I can share it with you if you
Are you
want.
trying to sell me something right now?
No, I would give it to you for free, silly. Uh, but like, I've been working really hard to put cheaper products in my store, because my store was just too expensive. And that's another thing I learned from your data playbook, is you need kind of a variety of products. And So this is a cheap, it's $3.75. But when I searched in Teachers Pay Teachers, I searched a bunch of things and no help was coming up. So like I searched how to find a good book. I searched good book. I searched independent reading. And it just seemed like no one is going on Teachers Be Teachers and searching those things because nothing even came up. So what do you do when you're like searching all these words and nothing's popping up? I'm like, great, no one's even looking for this product. And I guess I need to promote it on social media and like share it with my email list. And
Well, I have some ideas. Like, did you try searching reading selection?
no,
The words reading selection,
well, okay.
or
So when I even just type reading, it says reading comprehension. Actually, science of reading comes up, which is interesting.
yeah.
Reading, Thanksgiving reading comprehension, just reading. So what did you say? Reading selection?
Yeah,
Nothing.
those are two
Nothing.
keywords that are hot for book choice,
Oh,
right?
book choice. So
Book choice.
reading selection, nothing comes up.
Book
Okay, so
choice.
book choice. Uh, nope, nothing.
And are you searching on Google or Teachers Pay
Teachers
Teachers?
be teachers. But I mean, I think you can use this tip with Google too. Like, and
Yeah.
this is search engine optimization research. So before you name anything, before you name a product, before you name a blog post, you got to go find out like what keywords people are searching. Um, if you want to rank for those.
I mean, I'm doing book selection and there are 68,000 products on book selection.
Well, no, but like, there's a little drop down
Yeah,
menu.
I see what you're saying.
So
Let's see
there,
what just when you do book report, adapted books. This is a good example of what Teachers Pay Teachers sellers go through. Now reading books comes up as a search term.
so by the way, let me just clarify for listeners right now. We're on Teachers Pay Teachers and we're using the little bar and we're just typing in words, and underneath that there's a little box that pops up and it says suggestions. Those suggestions of keywords are what are most popular, what Teachers Pay Teachers is finding sellers, or not sellers, buyers searching. I just wanted to clarify that. But you're looking at actual products and what they're named too.
Yeah, I just typed in reading books and it did come up as a suggestion. And then compared to reading selection, there are over 800,000 products. So that shows me that that's something more people are searching for, reading books over book selection.
So what I ended up calling it was how to find a good book mini lesson, comma, reading mini lesson, because I noticed reading mini lesson is something people search. And that's what this is. And honestly, I do really well with the keyword mini lesson. So all my products, not all of them. And then also I added independent reading. So it's called all of that.
Nice. I am seeing also another really popular search term is just right books.
Ooh,
Choosing just right books. Apparently, this is like a thing. Seems like it's more popular in elementary, but choosing a just right book or choosing a good fit book,
good fit.
just right book keeps showing up, and right book is showing up a lot.
In Teachers Pay Teachers or Google?
Yeah, on Teachers Pay Teachers.
What? Hmm. Oh, or you mean like products that other people have named?
Yeah. When I'm searching for it, just right book and right book, just right book is coming up a lot for that topic.
I
All right,
just,
should we move on? I think we should move on maybe to what this has to do with, like, well, you're already Googling it, so you can kind of go into what does this have to do in the blog world or on Google? Like, how can we kind of, because we should be blogging about the products that we're making, and
yes.
choosing a good blog post is key to getting that product out into the world, out into the Google search. It's not always going to show up on Teachers Pay Teachers. There are people Googling these ideas as well.
Yes. And so I do have a website with a blog, and it's been around for, I don't know, 7 years now or something. And when I first started it, I didn't know anything about SEO. I just use Yoast because WordPress has kind of like Yoast already, like a free version of Yoast. And so, I mean, I really liked I'm actually logging into my website right now so I can talk more specifically about it. But there's these little dots that Yoast will show you, like, is this written? It says readability, and it'll tell you like needs improvement, or it's good, or it's okay. Good is what you want, and it turns green. And then it also says SEO, and it says, it needs improvement, or it's okay, or it's good, and then it's green. And so it has like a little box where you can type in what's your focus key phrase for this blog post. So I'm looking at one, and my focus key phrase is struggling writers. And then there's a spot where you can type in a meta description. And that's where, when you search something on Google, what the little paragraph underneath the search that describes what that link is all about, that's the meta description. Anyways, so I didn't even pay attention to this stuff when I first started. And then I started trying to get the little green dots for SEO and readability. But I didn't do any research about, like, what is ranking on Google and what keywords should I do, just like what we just did with Teachers Pay Teachers, before naming my blog posts. And I realized, I needed help. I needed more help with SEO and figuring out what to write about and what keywords to use. And why is my hand raised?
You know what I think you have? I just looked it up. A little reaction button down in the bottom, and it says recognize hand gestures, and you raised your hand like this while you were talking, and all of a sudden the little emoji popped up, and I was like, do you have recognize hand gestures? It's for teachers.
Oh.
Yeah. I think you
Okay.
had it.
Anyways, that's Zoom. Let's talk about, okay, so this new tool, and I pay for this, and I love it. I've learned so much about my own website, and like, okay, so it's called Rank IQ, and it's $50 a month. So it's expensive, but I don't know. There's so much that you can learn about what keywords to use in your blog post. So there's, like, basically how it works is you sign up, and I have an affiliate link if anyone wants to sign up and try it. It's monthly, so you could try it for a month. And when you sign up, basically it's a bank of low hanging fruit keywords. And so what I mean by that is, Brandon Gale, the guy that created this, he has a huge database library of different niches. So you pick your niche, and the keywords that you could rank really fast for on Google. Like, and so it's not all keywords, it's just the keywords that, basically, so every website has a domain authority number attached to it, and it's 1 to 100. And New York Times, for example, is 100. They have a huge domain authority. They are super website, right? Websites like Teacher Pay Teacher Seller, like Cult of Pedagogy, I think her domain authority is really high. It's like 50 or something. That's amazing. Mine is like 20. And so it's not, it's not really, it doesn't have that much authority. It could use some work. And so he finds, so like if a keyword is really ranking high for like New York Times. You don't want to use that keyword. You don't want to compete with the New York Times. So he has a library of like keywords that aren't really ranking among popular websites that have high domain authorities, right? And so he provides you with all these keywords, and you can search different keywords in his database to find out how how easy it is to rank for those keywords. And so, for example, I searched struggling writers. And so you get 16 reports each month. And so I can click for struggling readers. Let's do struggling readers. I click report. And I have a report all about that phrase. And it tells me what the highest ranking titles already. So like Reading Rockets ranks really high for that. Edutopia ranks really high for that. And then there's this tool called the Content Optimizer. And so you can actually type your blog post into the Content Optimizer, and it has a bunch of keywords that you need to use in your blog post if you want to rank. And it'll give you a grade as time goes on. So it starts out at an F. And then as you write your blog post, you want to get to an A. And it also tells you the number of words you need to write as well. And this is crazy. So there's a tool that you can click. It says check rankings. And so you can type your website in, and you can run an analysis of your website to find out, okay, what keywords am I ranking for? What are people searching to find my website? And I was so shocked to find out, because I get anywhere from like 100 to 1,000 people a day on my website. And when I get 1,000 people a day, it's always these few blog posts, right? The 80-20 rule, right? So there's a few blog posts that people constantly are visiting my website for. And those blog, oh my gosh, are you ready for this? So here are the keywords that my website ranks for. And this is an example of like stupidity on my part, because I don't want to rank for this. But the keywords are how to play Mafia in the classroom, Mafia classroom game, Mafia game for kids. Another one that I'm ranking really high for is I hate writing.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, so search Google
That's
for
funny.
I hate writing.
I am really excited to go do this
Do
right
it right
now.
now. So the reason that I'm ranking for how to play Mafia in the classroom is because there's a blog post I wrote called 5 Super Fun Simple Games to Play with Your Class Whenever. And then another one is I guess that one's like really, and that one gets a lot of traffic. And do I make fun games like TPT product fun games? No, I don't. So I don't want to rank for,
Maybe you need to
like,
start. Maybe you need to find a way to make some fun games
I
and then
know.
insert it in that blog post.
I know I should totally. And what I learned from this is, yeah, I need a product that helps teachers play Mafia in their classroom. I mean, I could
Love it.
totally create something like that pretty easily. So that's Rank IQ. If anyone's interested, I do have an affiliate link, and I'll put it in the show notes, and you can click it, try it out. I love it. There's also a Facebook group that you can join and get lots of help if you have questions about it. So yeah, I'm definitely I'm trying to get more smart about what I rank for, both on my website and on Teachers Pay Teachers, by doing my keyword research before creating content and products.
Well, I think this was a really exciting episode. As always, you can find us at
WackyTeacherpreneurs.com. Get our planner.
Yeah, get your free business planner, and then you can stay up to date with whenever we come out with a new product. You can hear all about it. If you like hearing about this stuff, this is kind of the direction that we're going with in our podcasts and products. And so you can really stay up to date with everything that we're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Subscribe, tell other teacherpreneur friends about it. And we'll be back again in your ear soon. Bye, everyone.